Get an invite.
Hey guys. So, I got a cool one for you. We're gonna look at your scrim. I couldn't help myself. I miss this. I miss this a lot. So, bit of disclosure, I watched the first point of the first map, University. Haven't watched anything else. So, that, just do a quick review on. Everything else, do stream of consciousness.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just
The
roll
shield.
into
It's with the mega in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
With the non-death hole.
They're like essentially like they're dead, but like you're not dead.
If you wanted to play any.
But
Yeah, for sure.
right
Where
here,
are they going? Where are they going?
Yeah, here,
Hanzo Kree look
Hanzo,
at
Ryan,
they have Zen. They have Zen.
Zen.
Ryan Zarya.
Ana.
Okay, so this positioning here, now that you know they have a Reinhardt and a Hanzo, you lose this. If they were running the Reaper Doom, sorry. Yeah, if they were running the Reaper Doom, you actually win this because the Ryan and the Zarya can't do anything about this. But they have a Hanzo and a Zen. And those are heroes that can deal with this distance. So at this point, you now need to be on the point, probably either here or over here. Here, actually, let's clear this X out because it's not a good one. So if this is the point, this corner here, and same thing for this one. Reason being is you need as much distance from the Reinhardt as possible so that he can't swing on you, but you need to be able to force him to walk to you and then potentially pull him into the hole and get him out of the fight. This is one of the things you guys talk about early here, is the fact that getting sent in the hole basically is a death sentence. It takes you out of the fight for a similar amount of time to a death. This positioning up here is great for either your Reaper or your Doomfist, but it doesn't really help anyone else. It helps Loki a little bit, but it's just they're not going to push onto your Orisa, which means you're not going to be able to use Halt to displace. You're going to be hoping that you can get a Halt in that little room and charge it with a punch. You're never really going to do it.
Not shield.
They're over right across from us.
3,
They're
2,
across.
1. Hold.
Watch your Hanzo.
Shoot them. Shoot them. Shoot dead. Oh, that's in front.
At this point, jump off the map. See, you're going to lose the point. At this point, you're going to lose the point. And we have to talk about whose ults are more impactful. On your side, when we talk about really impactful ultimates, that's it. It's the only ultimate that's really impactful. On their side, we have Shatter, Grav, Trance, Dragon. Those are really, really impactful. They are game-changing ultimates. These two used in tandem, that is. On your side, game-changing ultimates, Sigma. That's it. So the ult game, you lose this. So minimizing ult charge gained is important now. Just drop off the map, you're going to lose, reset.
Wow. You just got
I'm gonna
popped.
drop dodge. Yeah.
Reaper's up top.
And this will be important when we talk about later, where you guys get off the point. You guys lose one and then give up the fight and get off the point. Because in this scenario, you made the wrong call by fighting. Just get off the... You're going to snowball them by losing this fight.
Target. Ryan.
Ryan, no bubbles. I do have bubbles.
Until he's down.
Just die. On
You
point.
dead.
Don't put your set.
Someone kill me.
And we can see this in action here. Ryan is up to 60% to a shatter. He will have it next fight. Zen at 45. He probably won't have it next fight, but he will certainly have it the fight after. Same thing with a lot of these guys. Ryan got a majority of the ult charge that was available there. And what did you get? You got close. You're gonna have a window next fight, late in next fight, maybe after the fight, and you probably have a coalescence because coalescence charge is super quick. Shatter's better ultimate in those.
Can we do a Lucio? And then Ryan's alright.
I'll do it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You guys do swap. So yeah, even the window that you're gonna get, you're gonna lose that. That's gone.
Alright.
Sucker, you're gonna have to target the Hanzo.
Yeah.
Sitting left choke, fire striking. Base call half. They have no self.
Ready? I'm gonna speed this in.
They have no bubbles,
They have no bubble. Speed in.
I'm manted.
Ryan one.
I'm manted. Go. Oh, no.
I have no amp right now.
Doesn't matter.
I have
Sorry.
Sorry, no personal. Sorry.
Sorry. Amping heals.
Left side Hanzo.
And you can see back when you look up at ultimate charges here, the reason you guys won this fight didn't really have to do with Psycho's pick onto the Reaper. It had everything to do with their Rhine and their Zarya, despite having a significant advantage, not pushing it. This Rhine, with one swing, should have gotten about 35% ult charge. This is just Fire Strike ult charge he got. He was at 45%. Or he was at, no, 57. He was at 57%. Now he's only up to 84. In the first fight, he got 57%. He really should have had his ultimate here. But like I said, see these guys here? They now have their ultimate. They got it at the tail end of the fight. And what do you have for ultimates? Just coalescence. Oh, and Hanzo also did a bunch of damage, so he's going to have his ultimate. So now going into this next fight, if you guys tracked some of these ultimates, you know they've used nothing at this point. We're 2 fights in, they've used nothing. So they probably have everything. Except maybe the Reaper who got picked early. So he doesn't have it. Everyone else is pretty fucking close. And you guys have nothing. So when we look at this, what ends up being the right move here?
No. Right choke. I don't left choke.
I believe this is where Burning gets picked. Because you guys are not tracking ultimates here, this is going to basically screw you guys over.
Maybe Hanzo.
Okay.
Back.
So this call right here, it's going to be controversial, but you guys fucked up royally with this call. And it's not the call that you were going to lose the fight, because you're 100% going to lose this fight now. You're going to lose this fight. You have Azaria who's out of the fight. She has no energy. This fight is over. But here's the thing. They are going to have 5 ultimates going into this fight. You only have coalescence. You need to lose this fight, but you need to get as many ultimates out of them as possible. And you have a power position. You have 2 chokes, and you can sit right in the middle here and be able to defend both of them. You can rotate back and forth to defend both of them. You're going to lose this fight. This fight's over. But Hanzo gets Ana, Zen, Ryan, Zarya. These guys get no fucking value out of additional damage. They basically have their ultimates. So they get no value. You're not feeding them ult charge at all. They have it. You guys, however, get massive benefit out of doing additional damage. You will have these ultimates next fight if you fight this fight. If you can get these ultimates out, you win. If you can get Trance out, you win. You know? If you can bait out Shatter, or even just get Shattered, that's massive value. Because you are going to lose the next, or you should lose the next fight by giving this fight up.
They're left side.
You should lose it hard. And I believe the only reason you win it, if I remember correctly, is that you just outskill them.
Let him have it. Let him have it. It's not worth contesting.
But yeah, you can see all this additional space here, and you can see they have their ultimates. You know, they want this. They really want you to just give them this space. They want you to say, "Oh yeah, well, we'll take it. We'll do it without using ultimates, no problem."
Yeah, back.
We didn't fight for. We need one. We have to stay on point. We're just giving them extra percentage.
You're on the right idea, Shadow, but for the wrong reason. Nothing to do with percentage. They're gonna win the fight. But you guys can fight it, get some of your own percentage, and force out these ultimates. That's the idea.
Why'd we give that up?
Don't know.
Well,
They're down. Oh, never mind. We lost, right?
Y'all can still win that.
And you can see, you guys actually got some ult charge out of losing that fight slowly. But the problem is, in the way you guys lost that fight, kept you at 28%, and they were at 45, 46, something like that. Now they're at 66. You gave them 20% free in exchange for what? You to get these ultimates that you should have had by taking the fight. That's the trade you made. So, think about it. This was the wrong play for the right reason. You had the right idea. We're going to lose the fight. But the reality should have been, we're going to take the fight and lose it. Because we have control of the point. They have every ultimate. We want to get some of them out, as many of them out as we can. The reason you guys win this fight is they pushed up too far, and you guys got picks. And then just outskilled them. But one of the things you can still see is, look at the ultimates. They have every ultimate now.
Right side.
Why not, man?
I got beat.
Drop back a little bit.
Don't let Hamza shoot you. Always behind Waller's shield.
A better team would have actually just straight up held this point.
We need to.
A better team would have taken the 20% charge or 20% charge you gave them and outright won with it.
Yeah.
Nice beat, Logie.
What?
Grab Reaper.
Nice shatter.
No. He's dead. Let's do it.
That's huge.
Sorry. No stuff. And on point. And get on him. Zin.
Then one. Okay.
We're gonna watch this fight back over because I want you guys to watch what's going on in the back here.
Yeah.
So watch Psycho in this, because part of the reason why you guys are winning these fights has a lot to do with what Psycho's doing during these fights. He is completely outskilling their Hanzo. And this is winning you guys fights massively. He's getting picks that should be punished. Please play. There we go. So you see him in the background here. Dunk.
What?
Oh, he got slipped. Wow. I missed that. They didn't kill him either?
He's dead. Let's do it.
Oh my god. So that's what happened in that fight. Okay. I thought he just popped off. It turns out the enemy team just literally gave you the fight. You can see how close this fight actually was. You should not have won this fight because they invested 4 ultimates and they got to sleep on one of your DPS. This right here is the reason you won the fight. He should have, the second Psycho got slept, should have been sitting there, bow over, headshot, execute. Okay? Yeah, you needed to take the fight before. Really needed to take the fight on point and get some of these ultimates out of here. Because that's how close this fight actually was. It looks like you guys dominantly won this fight. You did not. their Hanzo not deciding to execute Psycho basically means that he proceed. That's the only reason why they won this fight, because he then went and killed the Hanzo. They no longer have the damage to clean this up. Think about how this fight goes. Let's play this back. Think about how this fight goes if Hanzo's able to sit up here.
Grab Reaper.
Run.
He's dead. Let's do it.
That's huge.
Sorry. No self. And on point. And get on him. Zin.
10-1.
You can see how different that fight becomes.
Well, they trans. I'm gonna blush on them.
They use Foros. They use Nano, Trans,
Burning. We did combo.
Hanzo, and
Yes, they
Grab.
have.
So they've got Shattered.
They still one can.
And so now you're tracking ultimates, because you should have lost the fight before because of ultimates. But we're already 72 to 92% in, and this is the first time we're really tracking ultimates. We tracked it a little bit the fight before because you just noticed they hadn't used anything. Now we're actually tracking ultimates.
Condition.
They have
Hanzo's on the left, careful. Hanzo's on the left.
Right side. Bomb point.
Reaper on point.
Shit.
Orisa 1, Orisa
Oh, I
1.
couldn't get an orb on.
There's Dahlia.
They wasted Shatter.
They didn't waste it.
No, they already had it. Because they got Winter and me.
They wasted it.
Yeah, I couldn't get an orb on that time.
Shatter's an ultimate you can waste, though.
They have no ults. We have Psycho.
We've got Doom coming up here.
Yeah, we
They
have
might
to-
have.
I don't know how much their Hanzo's been farming us, so.
Oh, fucking
It's
Harbor.
farming us hard enough.
They don't have any
Sure.
option.
Starting personal.
Beat it.
I'm asleep.
I died.
Yeah, and again, we can go back and take a look at what the enemy team is doing here, so you can see why you're winning these fights.
No, they don't have any.
So, at this point, what do we have? We have their Hanzo. He should be over here. He's long range damage. He can get picks in the cross. Okay? Him here means that you can just shield this off. Okay? Reaper? Or that's Reaper and Anna. We just want Reaper. Reaper's doing nothing here. Reaper should be either up here, or he should be like up on this platform here or something, or even over here, somewhere where he can put some damage in. Right now he's all the way back here. He's got to shoot. His fall off is here. Okay, his fall off is here. He's doing nothing. He's doing absolutely nothing. So you have a Hanzo who's shooting at your tanks to deal with, and that's it. Again, if you're playing against a better team, they're going to punish this rotation. You have 3 people here who can be caught out in... 4 people here who can be caught out in rotation. Okay? And where is Loki? It's probably on a wall somewhere. It's probably right back there. Or maybe he's coming back from spawn? I don't know where he is. Wherever Loki is, he's potentially able to get picked out as well. And that's because he made the good observation that Hanzo is here rather than here, but you need to be aware that he can be in fact here. And that's going to be the big reason why you win this fight so dominantly, is just getting this punch on Zarya. She's dead. There's nothing she can do. Punch, dead.
I'm asleep.
I died.
Go get the Anna. Zen.
I almost got Cole.
Yeah, and then again,
We're winning.
you can just see these cleanup fights these cleanup kills are just disgusting. It's over.
Hanzo.
He's dead now.
This fight's over.
He's not getting that.
Nice.
He can't get out here. He has to fight.
Come back.
Watch for Zarya.
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 Dead. Huge. Good job, guys.
Okay.
I love
Yeah, I knew
the fact that we ran over them also.
So, if we were to rate this out of 10, communication, your target calling, great. Phenomenal. Target priority, pretty good. I'll take it. Target focus, pretty good as well. Ult tracking, not great. Ult tracking is not great. It needed work. That's a big one. Because your ult tracking cost you an entire fight, and about 20% of the percentage there. And it should have cost you additional fights. And your planning goes back to ult tracking. Ult tracking wasn't great, therefore planning wasn't great. Okay?
Those kind of like.
Call of Azaria. 30 you're gonna get from winning.
And then that's
Okay.
back to what we were talking about.
Got it afterwards.
The thing that Bap's talking about
Because what
is the right idea, but the execution's wrong. She's right in that you're going to lose the fight. She's wrong in that losing the fight is the wrong play. It's actually the correct play. In that situation, losing the fight was the correct play. You did it anyway. This is one of those things where, because you didn't 100%, you kind of questioned it in the moment, you lost the fight anyway. Loki died, Shadow died, and I think you lost Aegis, which I believe, is that Thanos or is Aegis somebody else? Either way, you yeah, that's gotta be Thanos. Okay. Yeah, you basically lost anyway. So we can play this.
Whatever. Main.
Right behind you.
Are we gonna point or straight into them?
Same comp. You notice they have the same comp? Good.
Left side.
Reaper Mega, Reaper Mega.
I'm dead.
Epic heals.
You're down one.
Sorry, no projectile.
You're down two. Get out.
Yeah, just trying to
You
leave
can.
here.
You're dead. Just yeah, Bernie, you should have tried to escape on point. Now, what actually happened here?
Main.
Right behind you.
Are we gonna point or straight into them?
Shooting them. So same call. Main, I'm by
I don't hate the call of the same comp or right into them.
Left side.
Reaper Mega, Reaper Mega.
Oh, that fire strike was massive.
Epic heals.
You just lost.
You're down one.
Sorry, no projectile.
You just got
You're
outskilled.
down two. Get out.
Yeah, just trying to
You
leave
can.
here.
I just died.
Should have went through point, Bernie.
We can put in spawn if you can.
Should have tried to get out through the building at point, but whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And now we can see when we look at ult charges. Now let's look at these ult charges. This is what a first fight's supposed to look like. Ryan, 60%, 48%, 48, 60, 48. You guys, 50, 50. You can see how big winning the first fight actually is. And the reason they won the fight, they just did more damage than you. They just all across the board did more damage to you. In the last one, I was actually surprised how little damage across the board they won the fight with. This one, they really put the damage in.
Alright, we got this, don't worry.
Not here yet. Let's go north for Bird. Ready?
I hear them.
Psycho, can you go right side?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone else come mid. Go and call target. Ryan's there, low ground.
Reaper.
But alright.
No amp.
No projector.
Please?
Come on, Ryan.
Okay, quick tip, by the way. There's a thing you guys didn't notice yet, and I think it's important. When it comes to comp. This is greedy. This is really fucking greedy. What this is right here, this is them daring you to go Winston. That's what this is. This is them saying, you don't have the fucking balls to go dive on us. I don't know if they're right. I haven't watched enough gameplay of your gameplay. But that's what they're saying here. Neither of these heroes have escapes. The only way that they survive a dive is Anna getting the most clutch sleep. That's it. Okay? Just an important note. And it's the reason why you're winning some of these fights so dominantly in the last round is because you got Psycho here, who's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go on your backline. Your backline can't do shit.
Shut up.
Run low.
Run. You're on. Kill Ryan.
No, get out.
He's full, he's full.
Ryan's
He's
full
full.
health.
You're right.
Give me us out. Just try and get our Zarya out.
I got you, buddy.
Unfortunate.
Oh, no, I can't go. I got the Reaper.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll have Cole.
What does have?
I'll have Cole by next fight.
What else they have?
Good. Doing the ult tracking.
Both supports, probably both tanks. Maybe both DPS.
I don't know
Most
about the
likely.
Zarya ult.
So we should just play it like they have all of them.
They
They
have.
don't full support.
They're gonna have
They don't
Nano.
full
They- yeah,
support.
they're
Both supports, probably both tanks. Maybe both DPS.
I don't know
Most
about the
likely.
Zarya ult.
Good fucking job, Loki. Holy shit. Fantastic. Be vocal about that. Fantastic. I don't know about the Zarya ult. Just say they're make the guess. Just say they're probably about 60%, 70% to Zarya. Somewhere in that area. You don't think they have it. You know? Good job. But yeah, they have everything else. So again, you need to... You're gonna lose this fight. 53%. You're gonna lose this fight. You're gonna start about 60%. You're gonna lose. They're gonna get to about 80%. You then need to win the fight after. Your goal here: lose this fight, gain these ultimates to win the 75% fight, or 80. Okay, that's our goal here. It's our plan.
So we should just play it like they have all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they?
I don't hate that call.
So supports in Hanzo high ground. Look
Alright,
at
I've got
Reaper
Cole. I've
in
got
the
Cole.
middle.
Oh, we're down one.
We need to go up
That's
there
on me.
and
That's on me. I didn't
stop
question.
that. We need to flush them out off our
Yeah,
ground.
let's go right side. Next round.
That's fire
Back.
strike.
Just go back out. Don't waste that ult.
Let's just go inside.
Good,
Let's go
got one
inside.
ult up.
Back up, go inside.
You can go high ground on me.
But remember what I was saying? So our goal was get as many ults out as possible in this quick, decisive fight. Take the fight at about 65%, die at about 80. And then we can get another fight in about 85, 90. What's really happened here? They're starting the fight. They've used one ultimate. So we're good. But now we're starting the fight at 80%. Because they've postured. They've postured super hard and they've said, we don't want to fight you. We don't want to fight you. We just want to like poke you out from a distance, make it so you can't fight us. That's one of the things you guys need to work on, is just taking fights that you know you're going to lose so that you can get resources out of the enemy team. Because, like, let's look at this fight here. Let's go back to 20 seconds ago, where you guys, and see what you guys had for ultimates.
Yeah.
They don't full support.
They're gonna have
They don't
Nano.
full
They- yeah,
support.
they're
Both supports, probably both tanks. Maybe both.
Okay, so if you can take this fight at 60%, you guys can get all of these ults in, and then you might even use them in the fight and win, depending on how the fight's going. But you're unlikely to win this fight. Zarya is going to get her ultimate, basically has it, you know? When you look at these, you're going to lose. It's all about just getting the fight in and win, and getting as much ult charge as possible. Resources.
DPS.
I don't know about
Most
the
likely.
Zarya ult.
So we should just play it like they have all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they? Okay, so supports in Hanzo high ground. Look
Alright,
at
I've got
Reaper
Cole. I've
in
got
the
Cole.
middle.
Somebody's tabbed out.
We need to go up
That's
there
on me.
and
That's on me. I didn't
stop
question.
that. We need to flush them out off our
Yeah,
ground.
let's go right side. Next round.
Nice.
Just
Nice
go
fire
back
strike.
out. Go back out. Don't waste that ult.
Let's just go inside. Let's jump inside. Back up, go inside.
You can go high ground onto these
Okay.
supports.
How did I not kill Zen? I'm throwing.
Unlucky Loki. And now see, this is where we're at an interesting point. Now they're 85%. Now you have to take this fight. They're in the one fight territory now. You gave up an entire fight by just sitting, posturing, and waiting. You now need to take this fight down one.
Look around, Chad.
Alright, ulting.
Down 2.
I hit shift. I'm mad.
I got charged.
I got
No,
touched.
no, Nano.
Forward
I
Ana,
charged
Ana,
Ana.
Unlucky.
Now Reaper. Reaper.
Got the Rhino,
What is that shatter? Holy shit. Damn. That shatter was so nice. Unfortunate that you guys had already lost the fight basically when it started. But nice shatter.
Yeah, that's not on one person. We'll go over that in VODs.
To be honest, we kind of fucked that up with the, we got too cocky with comms. Because Bab said, oh my gosh, you guys were doing good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it that.
It wasn't.
I would say it's more an understanding of where you are in the game state. It's not comms. It is. It's communication, but it's not just like, oh, target calling. No, you need to really plan. It's planning. It's what are we doing in these fights? That's what you're not doing at all. You're not doing any of that. You're not saying we're trying to get these abilities out. We're pushing oh, push after bubble. You know, try to force out bubble. Do stuff like that. You know, like that initial fight. That's kind of where you lost it. That initial fight was kind of you lost it because you got out bubbled. You got out bubbled, and it meant that they did way the fuck more actual damage to you. It's what's the right way to word it? Well, it's the Jane quote that he loves saying. It's better for everyone to follow the wrong plan than one person to follow the right plan. You're gonna win more games. There's a great quote from John Wooden, who's the UCLA coach from the 70s, 80s, something like that. Basically the winningest basketball coach in history, or college basketball. And what he says is essentially the team that makes the most mistakes is going to score the most points. This rings so true in Overwatch, it's incredible. Get as many fights as you can. You know, if you're going to lose, take a fight. If you're going to lose and and there is no advantage to the enemy team to taking that fight, take it. You know? If it costs them ultimates to win the fight, take it. If it's a neutral fight or it's a mid fight where there's going to be ultimates coming into play, yeah, maybe don't take that fight. But when there's one team that just has an ult advantage clearly and you don't, take that fight because you win that fight by losing.
Follows us, we got too cocky with it.
Yeah.
They might go Kree, to be honest.
Ana or Moira?
They probably won't go Kree because they're gonna have they're not gonna because they've been running Hanzo. That's their long range damage option.
Love set high ground just in case they go double shield. We don't let them have high ground.
They do have
Let's talk a little bit about like what comps they're gonna run and why. How much did you win that first map by? You really didn't win it by much. Yeah, the fights you won were dominant, but you gave up fights pretty dominantly as well. So they're thinking to themselves, our comp was good on the first point, it smoked you on the second point. They're probably gonna run it again on the third point. You know? At this level, it's unlikely that they're running specific comps for specific points. If they were doing that, they want to run a different comp on both of those two previous maps. They probably would have run the Hanzo on Gardens, and that's about it. The likelihood is they really like this Hanzo.
Okay, Hanzo, done, change, I think. Yeah,
Nice pick.
Hanzo.
Fight this. You win this. Fight this shit. Swing. Go fucking swing on them. Go fucking swing on them.
Space, I can res that.
got it.
Go to res it.
Change, I think. Yeah.
There's something.
Okay, so their major source of damage is dead. Their biggest source of damage is dead. Completely dead. Gone. You've out-rotated the fuck out of them. They've made it to here. They control this section of the map. You control this. This is kind of no man's land at this point right now. Because for you to rotate, they're going to get to here before you. Okay? So, Shadow. Play right here. Rain rockets down on them. Behind them. Denoskar. Play right at the corner. Fucking swing that corner. Side to side. Back and forth. You know? There's a pillar. Or there's a corner right there. You can play it. Play at that corner. Fucking swing on them. Okay? Burning, you're fine. But all in all, you guys can do some disgusting things. Psycho, you got some fucking crazy options right now. You can either punch right into them to look for kills, or you can get your way up to this high ground to play here with Shadow and slam down onto this team, knock all of them up. It's good stuff here. You guys not only should win this fight, you guys should get like 40% ult charge on this fight. For basically everyone in your team. At the very minimum, you should get like 60% for the Rhine. 50%. You should get, if you don't get like 40% across the board, you should get at least 60% on these two. If not 70. 60. They don't have a lot of like blanket healing.
They have the same thing.
No Hanzo.
Starting himself. He's in one.
Push in.
No. Mischarge. I mischarged Zarya's one. I
If we
mischarged
make
Zarya's
space, I
one.
can res that.
You didn't need to charge that. You just needed to swing.
Yeah.
I'm a big.
Reaper's just getting out. They swapped McCree. They
McCree's
swapped.
What did I say? 60%. 40%. 30% across the board here. Easy money. What did they get? 30%, 20, 20, 25, 20. You're gonna smoke them in the next two fights now. Next fight, Shatter's coming up. Next fight, probably Barrage is coming up. The fight after that, you're probably gonna get about, in that fight, you're probably gonna get about 50% to Grav. So you're going to be about 65% on that one. Doesn't really matter. Coalescence coming up. The end of next fight. So you win this next fight dominantly. If you know what you're doing. If you can play at the corner and then force a rotation, which, again, let's look at rotation paths. For them to rotate, if they want to play here and you play here, they either have to rotate through this way, aka through your hammer swing. They have to rotate this way, which, guess what? Your rotation, way faster. Your rotation's way the fuck faster. Or they have to choose to fight you. And here's the thing about this map. This map's really nasty if for Pharah. Because Pharah can play right here. Your Pharah can play right here. And then, oh, they want to push you? Well, okay, we'll back up. Rain rockets straight down. Hit 2 or 3-man rockets. Okay? Oh, they want to kind of play back and forth. Your Pharah can now play right up top here. Go over to the other side. And drop rockets down. Oh, it's a little unsafe. Let's back it up. Really nasty. You guys have a beautiful comp. You've done great things with this comp by choosing to run Pharah here. Or Pharmacy. Oh, and if they actually do want to choose to fight you or quickly make this rotation, you have a fucking Doomfist who can punch him into a wall. You outright win this next fight. If you can control this choke. Control this corridor right here. This is your kill box. If they step in, they die. If they want to play back, drop rockets. If they want to try to push forward, drop rockets. And hit them in rotation. Your Doom, at this point, can play anywhere he wants. He can play right here. He can play back here. Hell, he could even play up here and go for a slam in and then a punch. Doesn't matter. This is the weakest of the spots. Even though normally high ground is very good for Doom, you want to get punches in rotation. So here or here.
It's fine.
That's for both of us.
Go and swap off them.
Nah, as long as if he starts being a
we can play
problem,
around.
I can swap.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm fine.
Charge. Peek in there.
Even more aware. Not yet.
And so already you've made your first mistake. Shadow, you need to be right here against this wall. Play right here on this spot. Don't play this high ground. Play over here. Because your team wants to hold this choke. They need to hold this choke. If you lose this choke right here, all of a sudden it opens up the map. They can now go around this way, rotate this way. They can push through. They can try to push this way. It really does, or push through this way actually. It opens up this map massively. There's one way into this room, 3 ways out of it. Okay? So you want them to not you want to force them to fight to get control of this room. That's our goal. Raining rockets across from distance doesn't really do anything for you. Sorry. It's going to get you some additional spam damage, but it's not going to win you this fight. So right now, while they're rotating to the point, fine, I get it. Get your extra spam damage out. Potentially get a lucky pick, but you need to basically be ready to make this rotation up to here as fast as you can when it becomes necessary.
Night.
No, it's like you just scared the shit out of me on the jab pad.
You're welcome.
I'm jumping to drop back. I'm gonna drop back. One to first strike.
I'm trying to work on very shields right now.
107.
And this is what I was talking about here with Psycho. You're up on the high ground. But by being up on this high ground, you gave up this punch. See what I mean? And here's the thing about it. If we go back just a couple seconds.
First strike.
Prefer the other side.
Go back 10 seconds.
One to first strike.
I'm trying to work on very shields right now.
Right here. There's a punch opportunity for you. See that, Ryan? He's at 400 health right now. You punch him, he loses about 300 of that. He's now at 20%. There is no nano to save him. There's a bubble. That's it. He is fucked. You can now take this fight, and they are fucked. This fight's over. You punch this Ryan, get him down to low health. This fight's over. He's done. See what I mean? And here's the other thing. Because you hit a rocket on Zen, Anna has now stopped paying attention to Reinhardt and is now healing Zen. Oh, you got a rocket onto McCree. Same thing. Ryan's dead here. You've set up a situation where Ryan is dead. In order for him to get the rotation here, he needs to basically sacrifice his life. And you're giving him the ability to do it without sacrificing his life.
107.
Prefer the other side. Prefer the other side.
Math. McCree half. I've shattered.
Careful. Back.
I'm
Behind you guys, behind you.
I got you.
Looking for a strike.
Oh,
I'm
on
backing.
juice. I'm down.
Yeah, I got a res more here.
Thank you.
Let's talk about off-angle shatters.
Shattered.
Okay.
First strike.
One of the biggest mistakes that Reinhardts make is thinking they need to shatter the enemy Reinhardt. Now you know the enemy Reinhardt does not have shatter. There's no fucking way in hell he has shatter. Right? We tracked this. We looked at it and said, I got 60% off the first fight. There's no fucking way he got 60% off the first fight. Right? At most, he got 30%. Maybe 40. He didn't really swing that much, so I'm guessing probably closer to 20. Where was he at? Like 25 or something like that. So, he hit a nice fire strike, he's up to 50%. You're at 85. You know he's nowhere fucking close. You do not need to worry about him shattering. You need to figure out your shatter, though. Because you're not getting counter shattered. Fire strike comes in, 98%. You basically have shatter. One more swing. Get that swing out. Good, you've got your shatter. Okay. Now, start figuring out this shatter. You need to think about off-angle shatters. If you shatter here, beautiful. You're going to fall back to this position. Ryan comes this way. So what does this mean? Everyone here is now shatterable. You don't need to shatter Ryan. This is important. If you shatter 4 people on the enemy team, particularly both supports, these are both active supports. They need to be doing things. Anna needs to be shooting. Yeah, Zen's Harmony stays on somebody, but it doesn't heal a lot. His value is his Discord and his damage. Okay? You win this fight by getting a shatter onto Anna. Now watch Anna's positioning. See her there? See her? Boom, shatter it right now. This Ryan shield does this. You shatter, it does this. So you kept both of these people. Who are those? Silver Sacks? Oh, Anna. Ace of Base? Who's that? Okay. So we talk about it hits the edge of that shield right there. That's your shatter. It goes about that far. About that far. So they're in the end of it. See? This is a trumpet. Little valves. Off-angle shatter, right there. Just do it. You win the fight if you do it. Okay, now they're dead. Now the fight's over. This is the problem with being paused in these.
Yeah, I got a res more here.
Now this fight's over. But this is because of 2 things. This fight, really, you lost it on 2 things. 1, the positioning error from Shadow. Need to rain down these rockets. Force them to take damage in rotation. And 2, really you need to think about how you want to use these ultimates. Okay? When did Coalescence come up here? I was so busy watching the Reinhardt. I didn't watch when Coalescence came up. Ooh, Winter. That fade.
What else have?
None.
Nice damage orb, but you need to... Okay.
What else have?
None.
So at this point, Winter, you need to be thinking about it like this. You want to get a little bit of healing on Thanaskar right now. It's important because he's in armor health, which means your healing is multiplied. The effective healing is multiplied by armor. We're gonna get into some detail stuff now. This is fine, but you need to get. So when you go to spray burning, just kind of turn a little bit and get a little bit on Thanaskar. Just a little bit. Just do like a little quick 180 spin. Because he needs this healing. He needs to hold this choke right here. You need to be playing at this corner, swinging into this choke. But ultimately you need to hold this choke. This little footsie movement is fine. Actually, this position might be better because it does allow you to fall back a little easier than up here. You know, what are you going to do? There's a back and forth here. But this is correct. You want to hold this choke. Shadow, I see this rocket coming in. Exactly. You guys have the right idea. You do need to deal with this Reaper, but dealing with this Reaper is easy as a punch. You know, one good punch gets this Reaper out of the fight. And a good rocket. You know, You have damage boosted rockets. You hit 1 damage boosted rocket on this guy. He's out. He's just wraithed out. He's gone.
Pressure gun, pressure gun, pressure gun.
Reaper the other side. Reaper the.
But yeah, so at this point, Winter, he's taken about half his health now, and you haven't put a single heal on him. You faded away. You're fine. You don't need fade here. Don't waste your fade here. And where do you end up? In front of the enemy team. Don't do that. Bad. Real bad. You know, you didn't need this fade. This fade is going to kill you.
Math. McCree half. I've shatter.
Careful, back.
Okay. Moving into this fight when you're half is basically killed you.
None.
So, this is fine. This positioning, nice jump back. Okay, now you need to play your new corner. You've given up this space. By falling back, you've given up this space. You no longer can... This space here is now no man's land. It's death. This space here is theirs. So if we color code all this, this is your space. This is their space. This space here is now contested. Okay? You are on your way back and you're low. So all of a sudden, this space is now theirs. Okay? You cannot do anything to get into this space. We need blue for that. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to really get into this space to protect it. Okay? If we're going to get really technical, this is kind of your space. This is more or less their space, which basically makes this area here no man's land. Okay? It's dangerous. Whoever's in this area is probably dead. So now your new corner you want to hold. Right there. Play this corner. Force them to... If they want to get into your space, force them to take this fight. Okay? You need to stabilize. You really need to stabilize. Winter, call the fuck out of this. Call stabilize. You see you see 2 of your tanks critical. You need to stabilize. Your team needs to hear this call. By not hearing this call, you got too aggressive.
Math. McCree half.
See this? You're half health, NASCAR. You're half health. Or Aegis. I don't know if... That's gonna bother me. Do you guys actually have someone named Aegis? No. Hold on. Alright, so yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to look at it like this. Pressure, you guys can win this fight, but you need to be careful. You need to stabilize. Shadow, this position you were in before is great now. All of a sudden, where it was kind of inferior, it's great now, because you can rain rockets down in their cross. There's nothing, but you're in the open now. So, this guy right here is going to look at you and say, oh, we hunting rabbits. Think.
I've shatter.
Careful, back.
I'm back to that.
I got you.
Case in point.
Moving first strike.
Oh,
I'm
Juice,
backing.
I'm down.
Okay, I got a res more here.
Thank you.
Huge. No, you're alone.
I need me.
I'm today.
I'm dead.
Yep.
Oh no. I might not
I
get
got you,
out of
aggro.
this.
Just die on point.
Just down
There you
down
go.
point.
Good call.
It's whatever.
My
Just
bad.
shadow, go and drop back a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to double farm. I have
Okay.
the barrage.
Let's go barrage shatter, alright?
Okay.
I've got
If you
full
can,
ready
if you
too.
can, try
We've
try
got
and
all the
draw
ults
this
coming
dragon
up.
shield.
Let's listen
Oh,
for
okay,
other
what
calls.
else have? I'm thinking
They
Reaper.
don't have the portal.
Needs to be faster. Well, the question is, what else do they have? There needs to be answers. Everyone tracks something.
They're high ground. Okay, go ahead.
You didn't see Shatter.
Let's go high ground. Right here.
Zen, high ground.
Oh, they're not here. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
wait.
push. Yeah, we're waiting.
Did we ever get an answer to what else they
I'm
have?
thinking
They don't
Reaper.
have the portal.
I've got
If you
full
can,
ready
if you
too.
can, try
We've
and
got all the
draw
ults
this
coming
dragon
up.
shield.
They've got all the
Oh,
ults
okay,
coming
what
up.
else have? I'm thinking
They
Reaper.
don't have the portal.
They're high ground. Okay, go.
What about Shatter? It's one of the fastest charging ultimates in the game. What about Shatter? I know they have it, but did you guys in this? Because you should have. You never saw him use it, and you charged... Oh, actually, no, this is the same one. You didn't use the other one. Never mind. I was going to say you charged two of them. So you charge yours, they charge theirs. You should have it.
Go ahead. Go. Let's go high ground. Right here.
Zen, high ground.
Oh, they're not here. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
wait.
push. Yeah, we're waiting for
I'm
you.
with you. I'm with you.
Right,
We're
we're here,
with
we're
you,
here.
we're with you.
Whatever. Leave them here. Leave them there.
Nice
Three
pick.
dead. Reaper behind.
Can you get a knockoff?
They're following.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going up the jump pad.
The ends on bottom.
Reaper.
One. As soon as we can. Thank you.
I
Huge.
got it.
Zen's in the middle room.
I'm not on you right now, Shadow.
Ryan gotta be low.
He's over the steam.
Ryan
Ryan
tab,
low.
Ryan tab.
Ryan low. Ryan one. Ryan one.
No.
He's
Oh,
one.
I'm shattered. I'm shattered.
I'm bad.
Shattered.
Oh god.
Okay. Use these fucking ultimates. Please.
Reaper.
At this point, is this fight won? Okay? Is this fight won? No. They're down one. They're down one, it's a Reaper. Is this fight won? Not really. Can you win it? Yeah. But you're gonna have to commit to it. Actually, they're down two.
Yeah, we're waiting for
I'm
you.
with you.
Right,
We're
we're here,
with
we're
you,
here.
we're with you.
Whatever. Leave them here. Leave them there.
We're three dead.
Okay, you're up one. This fight's over. Win this fight dominantly. Close this fight out. You don't really need ultimates. This is a thing, okay? You have so many ults here. You do not need your ults. Or sorry, you do not need to build ults is what I mean. You do need your ults. You don't need to build them. Just use one. Pick an ult, use it. You know what would have been disgusting? This barrage as they're coming up would have been a fucking Reddit play.
Reaper behind.
Us.
They're following.
Yeah, they're going up the jump pad.
The ends on bottom.
Reaper.
One. As soon as we can. Thank you.
I
Huge.
got it.
Zen's in the middle room.
I'm not on you right now, Shadow.
Ryan gotta be low.
Just ult these two supports. Please. Just barrage these supports. Kill them. Barrage them, please. Something.
He's over the steam.
Ryan
Ryan
tab,
low.
Ryan tab.
Ryan one. Ryan one.
No.
He's
Oh,
one.
I'm shattered. I'm shattered.
I'm bad.
Shattered.
Oh god.
I tried to just counter shatter that. That's on me.
Dip, psycho.
Yeah, that's on me.
Get out of here, man.
Huge GA.
Trying.
Dude, that nano. Logan, I got you, buddy.
So they use they use Nano, Ryan,
Nano shatter.
Nano Shatter, yeah.
That was it, yeah.
We have Barrage.
They're gonna have grab.
Have they had the Reaper long? They probably got DP.
Yeah, they have Reaper.
The problem about both DPS and then
They
the
should have
second
everything except for
I'm
the
gonna go for
nano.
a grab here.
And
Yep.
one. Okay,
Like,
Psycho can kill Zen. Psycho can kill Zen.
Swinging it.
No, dude.
Oh god.
That's on me. I didn't hear it.
It's still
I heard it,
winnable.
but that was supposed to see me.
Not really.
I hadn't heard it. Unfortunate.
I don't think we untouch.
We're not gonna get there in time.
Oh,
You know
I'm
what
slow.
actually
Okay.
happened here?
I'm not sure this.
everything except for
Alright,
the
I'm gonna go for
nano.
a grab here.
And
Yep.
Okay, is the second?
Oh, it was out of frame. That's why I didn't know where he was.
No, dude.
Oh god.
That's on me. I didn't hear it.
I heard it, but that's
Nice idea.
See me with it. But
I hadn't heard it.
I'm not even high enough fast enough to get there either.
not even.
And this one's over. That'll be good. So, planning and deciding when to lose fights and how to lose them. It's important. Okay? Cool. Peace.